Hi, it's Sai. So I made this video on redesigning my Kirby Gajinkas, and I wanted to draw the rest for you guys. Kirby is a very huge part of who I am now, and I adore its lore and characters. In these designs, you will see me go hella hard on the clothing and details, cause I love them. Like, so much, why wouldn't I? And by all these designs, I mean only two, cause the other two are my sister's designs. Again, like from the Sonic video where I took two of her designs and I drew fan art of it because I did not want to redesign her characters because they're so cool to me. So the drawings might look different from the rest. I love her designs so much, so this is, like I said, fan art for her. Me and her worked together on creating a different Kirby lore, theories, and concept ideas and designs. Made up our own little stories with it. I don't have much to say except I have a completely different lore for the game and show, but still keep it true to the original. And I wanted to talk about it in another video, where I designed Kirby's copy abilities and designed other things like how the Kirby characters that got controlled look like, or them wearing different masks, etc. So it's just gonna be a yap video with art just there. Alright, now let's get on with the video. First, let's start off with King Dedede. They used to be antagonists of the story, but now an anti-hero? Hero? No idea. Rival, maybe? I love him, though. He's a self-proclaimed king, but he's a king nonetheless, so I like the person he is now. And sure, the model looks like a club penguin now, but he's still the GOAT. Before I tell you what my sister wrote, everyone has unique eye shapes. Like, the eye shape that Kirby has is hearts, and the rest have different eyes. Like, different shapes in their eyes that you will see soon. Okay, now onto what my sister wrote about his design. Dedede was married into royalty, and then he inherited the throne, since they had no children throughout their marriage. My sister wanted to give Dedede a kind of liking towards Japanese culture. Of course, not a lot of things couldn't change to his liking, since the castle was supposed to be more medieval-like, and he wanted to respect the castle that was passed down throughout generations. So he instead changed himself. The old design didn't really have this idea or features, since she got the idea from how Dedede was designed in Super Smash Ultimate. What she kept was his long hair, bandages, and his facial hair. Since it was the only thing making him look older than a freaking teenager, she also made him bigger because when she was younger, she couldn't draw bigger men. Also, the fact that she can't draw chubbier people. She went with the traditional route on his outfit, hakama and everything, with Dedede's robe and crown being non-traditional since the palettes didn't really pass from his generation. The gloves are just there because of the design, it just has it. It was a bit hard to think of what she exactly wanted to do with them. She did try to make the bracelets around his wrists look like Japanese Manuku Shakuro. I don't know if I pronounced that right, oh my god. So she will draw them better in later art apparently. The bandages on the chest are because of a little accident that happened in Kirby's Dreamland 3. For his eyes, she chose diamond shapes because it's the same shape as his hammer, but the edges of it, like the ones in the Smash Bros, like the edge where they're like diamond shapes on the rims. I don't know what to call them, but yeah, they're there. He is kind of inspired by Suguru Geto, a character who also leans in towards the traditional wear of Japan's culture, but she added a small braid and a beard to seem more manly in a way. Oh, Suguru Geto is a character from Jujutsu Kaisen, by the way, if you guys don't know who that is. The shape of his eyes were also meant to be on the droopier end to make him seem older and tired, since being a king isn't easy. The story she wrote for him was that Dedede lived with his parents, who had a stable business, and he had two older siblings. Since he was the youngest, he wasn't really given much attention and given any support since his older siblings were better than him. After a drop in their stocks, they were starting to be deeper into debt. Surprisingly, they still spent their money poorly, saying it was to relieve stress. Dedede wanted to help them the best way he could, but his parents decided to take advantage of that when the queen was looking for a husband. They offered him to her for a price. Pretty soon, Dedede was married off to the queen of Dreamland. He did his best to be a good husband, but she wasn't really the best wife. She abused him physically and mentally, used him, and took away everything he loved, so he could be alone and only depend on her. Pretty much a toxic relationship. After years of torment from her, he ended her life and took her throne. The soldiers didn't care about their queen's outcome. The little Waddle Dees, they were glad that they had a better king. she wasn't very nice to them either. They also went through extreme hard times because of her. The kingdom's subjects were a different story though. They took years to accept King Dedede as their new ruler, which upset King Dedede a lot back then since his soldiers and himself knew that behind closed doors she was a terrible person. I think those villagers are Cappies? I don't know. Anyways, even after becoming friends with Kirby, he still holds that small grudge about losing to someone small and delicate looking. So he always comes up with ways and competition ideas to beat Kirby in. He is still someone who lets pride get into his head at times when it comes to rivals. As someone who grew up with someone who is very competitive and just not a very nice person, I also try to get a little competitive. Even if it's not good to be competitive, I can't help it. If I'm not good enough, then I feel like I am just not good enough at all. Like, I feel like I'm not a good person if I'm not getting the thing perfect. So I feel like that's how King Dedede also feels. So his ego sometimes bites him in the back. Before then, he was a bit ruthless with his subjects. After Kirby gave him a snapback to reality, he realizes later that he was becoming the person he hated the most and decided to fix his attitude. Slowly. Anyways, I hate how it turned out. I can't draw older people. Oh my god. I tried my best, but my experience lacks. His design turned out amazing, but I can't give it justice. I was too lazy to fix it since I got behind on my college work, so my bad. That's King Dedede. On to Bandana Dee. Bandana Dee's okay, I need to back out. This character is so cute to me. I adore his strong demeanor despite being a Waddle Dee. By my terms, one of the weakest species. He is strong and he has showed it throughout the series, now being one of the main 4 in the group. Overall cutie patootie. Now onto what my sister wrote about his design, because she designed King Dedede and Bandana Waddle Dee. I just did Marx and Magolor. Even if all the Waddle Dees will almost look the same, she wanted to make sure that their designs were able to make them look a little different. She made them have freckles to represent the blush that the Waddle Dees have. She wanted to give him fluffy hair to make him a soft looking. In his old design, he looked a lot like someone else's design. Cough cough, banana love. With his hair not making sense and his outfit clashing too much, he basically had no personality other than Dedede's right-hand man. Luckily, she changed how his hair is and gave his face a bit more of a gentle look, but with determined eyes, and gave him a more easier outfit to draw and understand. The opposite of what I did with other characters. She didn't think much of an outfit choice since Waddle Dees are supposed to be plain, like more on the plain side, but still tried to put some different characteristics in Bandana Dee's design. The pulled up sleeves for how he's always ready and eager to start working. They're also like that to not bother the leather gloves, as they are there to protect his arms. On his jacket is Dedede's symbol, since he works with everyone who works under him, and she gave him a strap around the neck for the jacket. She's not sure why, but it was there just to be added on, just in case something happened to the zipper, I guess. The spear design and the long thread line around it is heavily inspired by Fire Emblem spear fighter weapons. She's a very big Fire Emblem fan. But it's also for him to use as a fishing line to fish, which is an idea she added on last minute. Because I think I heard that Bandana likes to fish, I think. For his eyes, he has star eyes, to be a little close to Kirby's aesthetic, also because he idolizes people, so you know how stars are, because you know how you idolize someone and like their eyes sparkle with this like star? Yeah, that's also why, because he idolizes people. For his story that my sister wrote is that Waddle Dees were a species that didn't talk. Not that they couldn't, but they chose not to. Bandana Dee was a curious child who wanted to see more than his little village. So with the help of his siblings, he left his village, surviving off of wispy woods. He met Dedede when he was shot out of the castle by Kirby. He helped him out, and Dedede suggested to come back with him, and he accepted. That was when he first met Kirby. He tried to fight Kirby for his king, but failed badly. He was easily beaten by Kirby and went to cheer the king on after that. The king was beaten as well. It made him realize how much power Kirby had, and he felt like he needed to be strong for his king, so he left to travel again. Later, when just apples and fish weren't cutting it, he worked for a man who gave him hard labor and sent him on deliveries for some money. On one of his trips, he found a crystal that got him possessed by the enemy, but was later on saved by Kirby. Yes, we are referencing Kirby and the Crystal Shard. He saw that Kirby not only had strength in power, but also in kindness. He started idolizing him and soon followed him on his adventure to save Ripple Star. After the planet was saved and he went back to working with the man, after some time he decided to stop embarrassing himself by being pushed around by some guy who barely pays anything, and left. He realized he got stronger with all of the labor he had done, and competed in strength competitions. Though Kirby ended up winning those, after he saw Kirby, he decided to join King Dedede's army again and fight along the people who helped him in becoming someone better. I think that is also a reference to Kirby Fighters, the 3DS one. Anyways, someday he wishes he could become someone who can one day be alongside Kirby and his friends. He's the type of guy to believe that his superiors are everything. As in, Bandana Dee idolizes them a lot, that he doesn't like when bad people talk about them in a poorly way, and when people don't acknowledge their efforts. He didn't think he will ever reach the accomplishments they have done to stand by their side, but he lets them have all the glory and praise until he is able to prove himself. There's my boy, Bandana Dee! He just turned out so cute in my drawing. The pose is so fitting, and I think it's just good. No issues with it as far as I know. Here's the boy Bandana Waddle Dee. Oh, it's time for Marx, the beloved boy. Despite only appearing for a few times throughout the series, he's so goofy, love him. His character is very prankster type, and I love the jester aspect of him. He's just so cute, and then can be so scary in a way. I love characters with two sides to them. For his concept design, I thought everything looked cool. It's what I wanted and looked extra as hell. I love especially his hair. Oh my god, his hair. My sister drew some concept designs back in the day and they are very old. She says they're bad, but I still think they're cool. So she told me to carry the burden of redesigning this maniac. I gave him such a cool hairstyle. I wanted it to be wavy yet angular. His front hair is my favorite part of it all, so I gave him bell earrings and a big ass hat. I love the idea of him having a big ass jester hat. I added pom-poms and bells again. I'll warn you, this outfit has a lot of bells, like so much. Gave him a corset cause a bitch slay, a buttoned up shirt with a frill collar, but at the end of the collar rather than on the top. So it can be like a turtleneck instead. A bow with, can you guess, a bell. I know when you hear that motherfucker walk, you're just gonna hear bell sounds. Just once you hear him, you know it's him. Gave him puffy sleeves with sharp edges and fingerless gloves with bells on him again, as you could, yeah. For his pants, I wanted to be complex and make them look like ribbons are wrapped around, the pants. I don't know, like I said, I'm extra. I messed up. You'll see that in the video, and then I decided to take the shorts route. I added string belts that have, at the end, you already know, bells. I made the shorts match the sleeves, and him have socks to match his hat, like the patterns of it. Added pom-poms to the cloth laces that are from his pants. And for his shoes, I added the clown-like collar thing. I muted his colors because I like doing that. I don't know. I like giving them a more mature look. Overall, I was inspired by jester-type looks and Shadow Milk Cookie. Just shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't play Cookie Run Kingdom, but I've seen this damn cookie all over the goddamn place, and he gives me Marx vibes, like literally. Lastly, I gave him hexagon, octagon, eyeshadow, I don't know, a mixture of both, and eyeliner. Also red makeup marking thingies on the corner of his mouth. Also, his eyes are shaped like the cross star, you know, the little star that's not complete, it's like a 4-side star. For the story my sister worked on, because she likes making up stories for them, because I only did Kirby and Meta Knight, you could see my biasness. Marx was just a child who was born in the circus his mother owned. He was trained to be in the shows and to entertain the audience. His mother always told him that he was a talented child, that his stories would be talked around the world. He believed some of that he was a star. But he left like he was made for something more than being in this lame circus. He left that shabby place and became a jester. Clown was definitely not his style, but it just wasn't enough. He heard stories about Kirby. He is a hero, the chosen one. Like, he wasn't really jealous of Kirby, but he saw that he could use someone powerful like that to become even more powerful, someone that the whole world would have to know. He remembered about a tale his mother told him about a wish-granting machine named Nova. He's nothing but trouble where he goes. He likes to cause people pain, or even just scare their souls out of their bodies. Since he's on the good side now, he's also a bit lazy, wanting the people to do work for him. But it doesn't mean he won't put effort in things that matter to Kirby, if it means it would impress him, since he's gained a soft spot for Kirby over time. He turned out perfect to me. I love how I drew everything, except, again, the damn fucking legs. I hate drawing legs, but it's okay. I just absolutely adore his hair and his outfit. Mwah. His face too. I just cooked here overall. Anyways, that's Marx. Onto Magolor. He isn't one of my faves, but he's a chill dude. Took the crown, but yeah, you know, he's just a little silly dude. Or egg, I don't know what he is. I think he's a good character villain-wise, and now that we know he came back and is nice, it's quite sketchy, but he's good. He's okay, he won't hurt you. What can this egg cat do? My sister had a concept design that is very old again and wanted me to design it again. I wanted to give him curly hair, but went against it since it didn't fit his vibes. In the concept design, it looks not fitting. I kept his outfit since it's pretty cool. I just liked it overall. Extra as fuck. I wanted to make his eyes have gears in them because, you know, the whole different eye shape thing. I added the same coat on, but with extra details like making it look like he has belt straps on them. I added more belt straps on his sleeves. Added the same coat on, but with extra details like making it actually look like he has a belt strap on his collar instead of just like a I don't know, it just looks so simple. I added more belt straps on the sleeves. I don't know, I like doing that to characters, as you could tell. Like I said before, for his hair, I wanted it to be long from the front and short from the back. I am such a gooner for those type of hairs. I love short back and long hair from the front, as you could tell from my character. Also pointy in the edges for like this cat-like look, you know what I mean? Like the fluffy, yeah. More and more belts and a fancy belt on his waist that looks like a gear. I made his shirt have this mage look to it and a lace belt thing. I don't know, those cool little things that look like the edge of a carpet or curtain. I added leather-like drapes on his pants. I don't know what to call them either, oh my god, but that's how they look to me. So for his shirt, I wanted a fancy look, so it was a flowered ruffled collar. Added some gloves and bandages to the shoes. Also for the shoes, I made them look like the mage's shoes. I don't know what they're called either. Oh my god, I keep forgetting what things are called. But the leather-like ones, you know, with gear pattern lining and a gear. I was just really inspired by mages and their style. I wanted him to look like, you know, a mage, so despite him being more of a mechanic aspect, but I just wanted to, so I added some gears, so I mean, it's not fully mage. Like, I wanted to mute his colors since, like I said before, I like doing that. I don't like having bright colors unless it fits the character, and it doesn't fit in Magolor's case. I struggled on the coloring. You will notice me change his colors multiple times because I didn't know what color worked well with the jacket. For the story my sister wanted to give him is that Magolor is a hybrid that loved studying but also loved pranking. He only liked to study what he found interesting. If it wasn't catching his interest, he didn't learn it. He wasn't really accepted among his friends and people, not because of his pranks or laziness, but because he was half ancient, a species of genius people who were banished because of their dangerous power. He was okay with not being accepted until he read about the ancients and grew to hate the others. He studied and learned about dark magic since he was able to do some small things here and there, but over time he was able to do more, which the people started fearing. Frustrated that he couldn't become someone even more powerful to get revenge on them, he looked for something that could help him. Something powerful. He stole the lore Star Cutter. I think hijacked it in general, because like, you know, mechanic stuff, and he could like hijack it, I think, and left to go find the source of power that could help him, the crown. He traveled to many timelines and dimensions, and one time bumped into Marx, who he became friends with, and that's where he heard the name Kirby. If by a chance he couldn't beat the Guardian of the Crown, Kirby would be his last hope. As said last time, he would only study topics that were interesting to him. Usually he would rather be messing with someone than, put his mind in boring subjects. He is also kind of stubborn. When he is on a path, he has a hard time wanting to leave it. When Kirby went through so much for him, he felt bad. He almost wanted to leave his plan behind, but he felt that if Kirby found out about what he is planning, his friendship with him would be over. He felt like there was no turning back for something that Kirby wouldn't forgive him for. So ensue the whole Kirby Returns to Dreamland type shit. I really adore the way I did his hair. I struggled on what I wanted to do, but there he is. He looks smug, yet pretty enough to trick you, thinking that he's nice. Anyways, that's it. That's the last one. Here's Magolor. Thank you for watching. I struggled so hard to make this video. I'm currently burnt out, not of art, but of life in general. College has been dragging me to no ends, and I'm seriously going crazy. But I'll try my best to continue working on videos as much as possible for you guys to not get bored of me yet. I'll do the rest of the characters when I get the chance to. But anyways, like and subscribe for more, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.